we ain't going and getting everything that Amorim needs this summer, mate. I think it's going to be another 2.
They need to. There's no excuses for INEOS.
There's no money.
There is
150 million lost. Where's the money coming from, bro?
Right, it has to come from somewhere.
They've got the money though. That's the thing. Ratcliffe has got money. Ratcliffe has got money. So he's got to dig into his pocket, and so does the Glazers.
Yeah.
Have they done that in 20 years, Ash?
No, they've not.
They've just got 1.3 million. No, Ash. They've just got 1.3 billion, right, off Radcliffe, and kept it. They could have cleared the debt. They could have set us up for the future. They decided to keep the money. Where do you think?
Yeah, but what you're failing to understand, is they're not going to let the business fail. You don't let business fail when it's a big enterprise. You don't let it fail. You have a cash injection, or you see it fail and struggle, and that's where we're at right now.
20 years. They've not put money in for 20 years. Where do you think this money's coming from? You're living in dreamland.
That's the whole point.
You're living in dreamland, bro. Because the only reason that they're here, the only reason that they've dragged Ratcliffe in, is because they're willing and desperate for this regeneration project. Because as soon as they get the green light for that, that's hundreds of millions of pounds in the back pocket. Until then, it's bargain basement and free deals. I wouldn't be surprised if we start going. I know he's linked to Juventus. Jonathan David starts names getting mentioned. Angel Gomez starts getting mentioned because of free signings. You honestly, mate. I love you. I love you, but you are delusional if you think that the Glazers after 20 years are going to inject money into this club.
What you're saying, Double A, is they're going to allow the business to fail. That's what you're saying. You're saying they're just going to allow the business to fail.
They've done that since Fergie's been in. Since Fergie's gone.
You say they've done that. They've pumped money into the club using its own money. When they could have sacked the club.
They're going to sack more people. Where do you think this all of a sudden they're going to go, do you know what? We finished 15th and we lost the Europa League. Do you know what?
Listen, we'll see. But they cannot let this business fail. They can't let the business fail because they're losing money. That's the one thing they want to do. You've seen how many times in the season we've not finished Champions League.
We've gone from the top of the mountain to looking at everyone else doing what we've done.
Yeah, I know that, Double A, but use common sense. Use common sense.
I am using common sense.
Use common sense. Whenever we've not finished in the Champions League under the Glazers, we've had cash injections. Do you know what I mean? Not from them, from the club, but they've refinanced. They've got the money to then try and get themselves back into the Champions League. That's what they do. They understand when this club starts to fail, they need to either load up more debt or they need to pump money in. They understand that. They can't not do that. If they don't do that, their valuable asset loses more money.
No. Ash, you're wrong again because they are not pumping money in. They are taking money that the club already has. The club has
of course,
money.
I understand that.
They're not pumping money in. So that's where you're not getting it.
No, I completely understand. But listen, where's this money come from? It exists. What I'm saying is they refinance the club. It's not they don't put in no money. They take more money from the club and then re-put it back in. That's what they're doing.
The well is dry, though. The well is now dry. We are 1 billion in debt.
We got a lot of on transfers alone. Yeah, credit cards, maxed out as well.
Our credit card is maxed out, but their credit card's not maxed out. Man United's credit card's maxed out, but theirs isn't. And neither is Ratcliffe's.
United will never see them credit cards, mate. They don't even know they exist.
Listen, we're spending 250, 300 million this summer. We're spending 200 million this summer. We're spending 200 million this summer. You're deluded to think that we're only going to spend what?
You're deluded to think
200 million easy.
Money in. We're going
to spend 2 million. So you're saying we're only going to spend 100 million this year? We're going to have 2 signings.
But what they'll do is they'll do 3-4 signings on 50 million a year. That's what they'll do.
Oh, so we are going to spend 200 million?
No, because they'll do it with 100 million. What we've got to spend. If you buy 3-4 players on,
so you're talking about on the amortization, yeah, but still that's still money that's being spent.
It's not going to be 200 million. You've got no chance, mate.
Listen, I'm not no accountant yet, but I do. What they're doing right now with the Konya is they're paying it in installments. So that is an option. That is an option that you can do. So the Konya one right now, it says 62 million on the whatever, but in reality they're paying that in installments. Same way
it will be 62 million. It
will be that 100%. Yeah,
but that's how most deals do. Most deals are not up front. Most clubs, if it's of a certain amount,
that's why we're all like 400 million still flawless in it. That's why we still have so much money on players.
That's why United will sign players. How much we spend, I don't know, but will Manchester United sign?
Yeah, yes. United will sign players
because we always do. Because I've been hearing for years, for like the last 5-6 years, how Manchester United are broke and have no bread. we'll sign players. We're not gonna not sign anybody. Cunha's even whether Cunha comes in or not, you hear the Embremo links or not. Let's say those 2 deals don't go through. We are going to bring in players. It's just about the quality of players. That's
exactly. That's where I stand. But where we are, mate, with no European football.
Yeah, with the quality of play. But so far, the links is so good. There's no one we've been linked to heavily that I look at and I go, yeah, that's terrible.
We're linked to everyone. The lap for me.
No. But strong links I'm talking about. Even the lap, as much as like I'm not a huge fan of the lap for the price point they're talking about. If we were to bring in the lap, let's say our front three is Cunha, Embremo, the lap. I have no qualms with that for next season. That's a good front three, in particular. Them 2 tens. Those two.
I think a young striker, as well as the potential unease this next season is going to start with. Because we were saying before we went live, Amorim has to hit the ground running in this.
Amorim's cooked. Let's clarify that.
Talk about win unbeaten in our first 5.
I hear you. Amorim's cooked. Like, let's just clarify that. He don't believe in himself. Like, hear how he is talking and certain things that he said. I'm not talking about him. I'm just talking about bringing in talent. That's what Manchester United need to do.
So what I'm saying is, like, he's got a pre-season now, so he's got no excuse. The pressure is on from minute 1. So what I'm saying is, in that pressure cooker, to throw in another 22-year-old who's had one decent season in the Premier League, for me, is ridiculous, and we shouldn't be doing it.
All right. Well, you go get the lap and Mateta. You go get both of them. Do you know what I mean? The lap.
Here the thing is, though, he's not by himself, though. Double A. Let's say it is Cunha and Embremo. If he's there with
Cunha
those
can
two,
play striker, innit?
You're there with 2 quality attacking players with you. That's why I don't worry about it so much. If it's just the lap with this crap, he gonna start. He's definitely gonna drown. We know that players have to leave. That goes without saying. The list is longer of players that we would want to keep than the players we'd want to sell. Yeah. But if you had Cunha and Embremo, any striker, if you're any form of decent striker, you are going to do okay because they are 2 very, very good attackers.
I'm sick of buying potential. I need.
I hear you, and I don't think we're buying
experienced striker.
Because the lap is not my first choice. I'm just pointing out if we were to sign the lap, I'm not against it in particular with because Embremo and Cunha are not potential. You know what you're getting.
And they're been in the Premier League
for a number of seasons.
I know we talk about doing all this.
Don't start. They're not even there yet.
They potentially can get you 15 goals each.
Put it this way, I think I don't think that's wild. If we sign those 2, I think they can get 15 goals each in the Premier League.
All you need from the lap is about 15 goals, 10 to 15 goals.
All right, say 10, man. You'll say start off low, man. Say 10, man.
I want 20 million. I want 20 million.
Start off with 10. No. We could start off with 10 because then that's 40 between the 3 of them, which
he's got 45 goals this season.
Okay, so that means they've got almost the whole total. So that is a phenomenal start. Is that where we want to be final form?
No, of course.
But if our front 3 get 40 goals, I would shake anybody's hand now for that. Our front 3 get 40 goals, the rest pitching. And hey, let's start off because people keep talking about the rebuild so long and and all these things. Yes, where Manchester United are now and where we want to be and where we all want to be in regards to winning and competing for Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues, we are far away. People, let's stop this. First and foremost, let's please baby steps. People are talking about us full on sprinting and we can't even stand on our own 2 feet. How about a positive goal difference? How about more wins than losses? How about just winning 65 league goals? How about just top half of the table? How about back-to-back wins consecutively? Please, let's start there. Back wins. I am not talking about finishing first, second, third, or fourth. I'm just saying, hey, let's just be a competent unit. Can we start there, please? Let's just get some clean sheets. You mentioned it there, 9 wins and 18 losses. Hey, let's try and get 15, 16 wins in the Premier League. We're talking about us winning all the week. Yes, that rebuild is big, but in terms of where we're at, no, we're just trying to be a competent unit again. Bring me in some good players. Would Cunha fit that mold? Yes. Would an Embremo? Yes. Do I like the lap? Yes, also. But obviously, we know we need more. But yeah, it's about just improvements across the board. So people talking we're in champs. Go on.
But I also think, I'm with Adam as well. I don't want to be guys, it's still a start of the season.
5 years.
I do believe next season though, man don't want to be seeing it's got to get used to the players, or the players have got to get used to this. We need to see improvements from the off. Yeah.
Absolutely, because other
Yeah.
teams have done this. We watch, and whether you rate the manager more or not elsewhere, that's it. We watch Villa do it with Emery. When he went in, they jumped up. We see Nottingham Forest do it with Nuno. We seen Eddie Howe do this with Newcastle, where their teams were languishing near the bottom of the table and made vast improvements and jumped up. So it is possible. Is it tough to do? Of course, yes. But again, there's zero excuses for Amorim. I'm not hearing any excuses.
This is why.
But you know what? He needs backing up from the board, because I don't want to see another Agate situation, another waiting weeks and weeks. All them signings have to be however many players we're getting. If it's 4, 5, 6, you know, God, let's pray it's.
They have to be on pre-season, don't they?
They have to be there
pre-season,
bro.
Agreed,
because he needs to hit the ground running. They all need to be on board, because they're not excuse about the players need time to bed in. He's not had a pre-season. He was waiting for the move. I don't want to hear any of that about any player next season. They all need to be in, raring to go, because it's. Listen, I wasn't joking when I said, you know, we have to probably say top 10 has to be our aim. But again, as we did last season, when I was saying he has to be finishing in the top 3, Ten Hag, I will still have my standards that Manchester United should still be a top 6 club, top 4 club.